Chevy just killed off one of their debatably most influential cars that they've ever made. This car was in production from 1964 up until 1983 and then reintroduced to the public in 1997 and has been produced ever since then, and with it being its final production year here in 2024. Now, this car has been in NASCAR, it's been in many different movies and pop culture, and its overall production lifetime has spanned 9 different production generations. Now, of course, I'm not talking about a Corvette, I'm not talking about the Camaro, I'm talking about the Chevy Malibu. Now, I know ever since really it's been reintroduced in 1997 up until now, no one really thinks about a Chevy Malibu as necessarily being like an exciting car or anything, but it's been a very kind of reliable, just average consumer car that Chevy has seen very good sales numbers from throughout the years. Now, obviously, if we're talking about like some of those 1960s models, those are a little bit cooler, but then again, every car that was made in the 1960s, I feel like, is a cool car compared to what we have nowadays. But before even getting into this video, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff really does help me out a ton as a smaller car channel here on YouTube. And getting into it today, we're going to be looking at a couple articles, just kind of going over the whole situation with the Chevy Malibu and what its future is, or I guess lack thereof of a future. Now, personally, what I think, before again even getting into this and discussing like the facts of the situation, I honestly think this is not a good move at all. I think this is kind of terrible. I know from a business standpoint it makes sense. Everyone nowadays is either buying SUVs or plug-in hybrids or electric cars, and a lot of manufacturers are trying to move in that direction. But killing off kind of like a traditional four-door sedan, I believe it's their last sedan in production. I just don't really like it. It's going to cause more of a lack of, I guess, diversity in different models that Chevy is going to offer, obviously. But yeah, it is a very influential name. Like I've said before, it's been in NASCAR throughout multiple different seasons or years or whatever. And it was kind of like a staple of Chevy as a brand, I guess. And as a lot of the ones like in the 60s are actually like pretty cool cars. And the Malibu has kind of slowed down in recent years, to say the least. And if you're going to look to kind of cut off any of that excess fat, I guess, it does make sense. And this first article here that I just kind of want to take a look at just goes through the different movies and kind of pop culture things that the Chevy Malibu has been in throughout its production lifetime. And it's kind of cool, not really too surprising, but like most of us car enthusiasts know who've watched the movie Drive, the main character, which is basically Ryan Gosling's character, he drives in a 1973 Malibu. Now, also a 1964 Malibu was featured in Pulp Fiction as well as Repo Man. And then the 1989 film Say Anything also does feature a 1977 Chevy Malibu. So just a couple like little Easter eggs of the Chevy Malibu's influence in there, but it's been probably one of the most popular domestic made cars in its entire lifespan. But now getting into this article by Car and Driver, it actually goes through the facts of the current situation and how Chevy is going to kill off the Malibu and what it intends to do in the future. Now, in the past 27 years, the Malibu, I believe, has only been specifically assembled in this Fairfax plant that they mention right here. And just searching up a little bit about the Malibu while, researching for this video, I also saw on their Wikipedia page that there's a little bit more information when it comes to the plans for that plant. You could see here basically the Fairfax assembly plant in Kansas City, where the Malibu was built, will be retooled to build the Ultium-based second generation of the Chevy Bolt, while also continuing production on the Cadillac XT4. Now, that kind of confirms but also contradicts what is stated here in the Car and Driver article, where it does say that Chevy is going to be investing $390 million into that Fairfax plant. I'm assuming to continue the production of the Bolt as well as maybe other models in the future. However, they also state down here that they do plan to kind of pause production on the Cadillac XT4 and potentially resume it in like late 2025. So I guess right now in that current assembly plant, they're just prioritizing getting the last Malibus off the lines, and then in late 2025 they're going to restart with the Cadillac XT4 and the second generation of the Chevy Bolt. Now, another kind of motive or reasoning behind this decision by Chevy might actually be right here, where Car and Driver kind of states that the company fell short, of selling 400,000 EVs between 2022 and the middle of 2024, and it does plan to kind of invest more into that niche of the car industry. Again, most manufacturers are doing this. We've been seeing this countless times across so many different manufacturers, where they're just kind of like weeding out some of those internal combustion engine models or variants and either rebranding those models in a hybrid sense or a fully electric sense, which we've seen with the Dodge Hornet, where the Dodge Hornet hasn't been in production for I don't know how long, and now all of a sudden it's a hybrid midsize SUV, which was completely not what it was when it was originally made by Dodge. So I would kind of be interested to see maybe this Malibu making a comeback in the next decade or so as a fully electric sedan or whatever, but it's kind of a shame to see the car industry in general, all these different manufacturers moving away from cars, because me, as someone who reviews cars on my channel, I love cars more than anything. Like, I like cars more than SUVs, more than trucks, etc., etc. So for me, it's kind of annoying. Plus, there's plenty of just average, everyday consumers out there that would like a regular internal combustion engine four-door sedan that is cheap to buy, that is cheap to maintain, and is also cheap at the gas pump. However, again, manufacturers, I feel like, don't really have that in mind for the future, and they just kind of want to move most, if not all, of their consumer cars or like everyday use cars over to a hybrid or electric platform, while kind of keeping some internal combustion engines alive and going in their enthusiast cars. Obviously, we've also seen that shift to fully EV and hybrid in the enthusiast car market as well. But let me know what you guys think about this discontinuation of the Chevy Malibu. Again, personally, I don't really like it, the Malibu, as much as it's kind of a car that I feel like kind of gets hated on, or people don't really feel like they should take it that seriously. It's a very, very influential nameplate in Chevy's history. So again, let me know what you guys think down below. And personally, I do think that this is going to shake up the domestic car market a lot more than people may believe. But again, give me your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. I know today was a shorter video, but we're getting back to a kind of normal uploading schedule, so some of the videos are going to be a little bit shorter. But I saw this and I just figured I'd had to make a video on it, because the Malibu, again, has been one of the most successful nameplates in Chevy's history. Now, while you're down there in the comments, definitely be sure to, again, leave a like, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell, all that stuff. Really, really does help me out a ton. But like always, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.